think people of the same things. I want to escape now to another place now, but with you 'cause I don't want to be alone. Tell me if you want to follow me now, to follow me. Take me to your arms and never leave me. Don't leave me, boy. Tell me if you want to follow me now, to follow me. Take me to your arms and never leave me. Don't leave me, boy.
Four French drivers at the French Grand Prix trying to win this on the final lap. The three wide again, Guillaume down the inside. Guillaume moves across, they're both in front of Milan and Pouget.
Before you know it, we find ourselves here in the very final race of the competition.
And then they see truck racing and they think, this is crazy, you know, these are 5-ton machines, 1200 horsepower brake.
Oh, look at that switchback. Oh, you can look amateur to show off.
Back there, go on ball with Ben Gregory now, I love it. 16.5 minutes gone, Senna Lanson tries to go for the race lead.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Chaz Draycott Media, and welcome to the final round in the first season of the UGX Clio Cup here on iRacing. We're here at the Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit, or the Grand Prix Strecke as it is known, for this grand finale of the championship. We've had 5 brilliant rounds so far, a couple of them broadcasted here on the channel, and we're here to complete the season with what's going to be a very exciting 6th race. My name is Chaz Draycott, up here in the commentary box, flying solo this evening and looking forward to another great encounter. Last time out at Monza was good fun. We had a bit of drama, a few little bits of contact here and there, but that's Clio racing. It's tin top racing. It's supposed to be lively. Laurens van Straaland is right on the brink of taking the championship. He's 27 points clear of Leroy Bolkestein, and with a maximum score of 30 available, the championship is still open there, but I think that Van Straaland, with the form that he's had, is pretty much confirmed. We'll have to wait and see. There's a great battle that we've got to keep our hands on, or at least our eyes on anyway, let's not get too handsy, with Stefan van der Velde, Michael van der Ven, and Julian van Buel for 3rd, 4th and 5th. 85, 83, excuse me, and 80 points between those guys, and then it's so close all the way down through the pack. But Stefan van der Velde is going to be hoping to hold on to that 3rd place in the championship. He's currently in 7th place in this current practice session that's going on. We have a few drivers out there on track at the moment, but it's lovely conditions here with a sort of sunset here at the Nürburgring. And this is how practice is going at the moment. Not long left to go now. We'll actually turn that into a countdown instead of it counting up. But this is Leroy Bolkestein, 2nd in the championship, 4th in this session. And Ilana Quispel is next up, actually, just ahead of him in the current standings at the moment. Ilana, a new driver for this evening, it seems. Hello to those of you in the chat, by the way. It's great to have you with us. Hope you're all having an enjoyable evening so far, and look forward to seeing what you think of the racing over the course of the night. It's always good fun, like I say, with these guys in this championship. Just updating the current information in the sim, just to make sure that we've got everything all updated. So you may see it blink on and off a few times. Bart Verkerk is out there in the Bart B car, number 193 machine. Bart's been a big supporter of mine and my work throughout a long time on iRacing now, since I raced with him in the Sunday Drivers MX5 Cup. We also have one of my favourite liveries on the grid just behind him as well, actually, which is Martin Smit. Martin hopping this way and that way over the curbs. Channy in the chat again. Good to see you. You were on the in the comments yesterday for the SRM GT4 challenge, saying I'm fully invested in this channel after yesterday. Thank you very much. I'm absolutely flattered. It's good to have Kian Vissers back out there as well. Kian's got quite the following, to be fair. He's a lovely bloke. Again, another strong supporter of mine, and hoping that he's going to have a better evening than what he's had so far, actually, as he runs a little bit wide through there. Look at the orange glow here on the circuit. It's marvellous, isn't it? All the cars will disappear in just a second then, as qualifying is about to get underway. And UGX Race Simulator is in the chat, one of the championship sponsors, along with Ilanis Advice and Media, of course. Thank you very much, guys. Really has been a pleasure so far this season. And they say Stefan will keep 3rd place for sure. Let's see, shall we? So, interestingly, they have what is known as lone qualifying here in this championship. So the cars will go out on their own. They will not share a track together. As you see here, if we go on with Laurens van Straaland, you can see there's no other car in front of him. But then if we look back from the car we were just with a moment ago, you'll notice there is no car behind them. They are in their own individual little sessions, basically, so they can't use Slipstream to get one over on each other. They can't sort of team up and work with each other in this. Bit of a moment there for Kian Vissers. Stefan van der Velde hoping to hold that 3rd place, like I say, in the championship. This gorgeous livery on this car. There's a couple of them in the field, actually. Your own Philipson, I think, is one of them as well in car 17, and then Leroy Bolkestein as well, the G-Force Racing squad, with these excellent looking Renault Clios. Let's hop on board for a little bit, shall we, and see what it's like trying to get one of these fantastic little racing cars around the Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit, because it's not an easy track to master at all. There's a lot of very quick sections around here, and these cars don't like long, smooth corners because of the way that, well, they're front-wheel drive and all the weight is over the rear. So the rear wheels are just along for the ride here, and when they're not driven, it's very difficult to get the car to behave itself. But up the hill we go, through the Michael Schumacher S's. Again, you've got to be very gentle with this car up through there. The Clio Cup Europe actually races at the Nürburgring in the real world as well, and it's always exciting to watch them there. Onto the brakes goes your own. And this is just his outlap at the moment. Harrow Gooden in the chat. Harrow not out on circuit, unfortunately, this evening, which is a shame, but be good to see Harrow back out once again in the dinosaur livery that we saw, the Rexy livery on the Clio. Saying that the best livery is the Cloud Racing livery, and that is the one that Laurent van Strijland and his teammates will be wearing. Kian Visses and Kilian Boss as well, I believe, wears that livery. That's the one. It's nice and straightforward. It's what we call a no messing livery here in the UK. No mucking about. It does the job. And I'm told as well, thank you very much to Ron Bosman for providing me with the information on this one. The guest driver that we have this evening, Ilana Quispel, is actually one of the head sponsors, the company owner of Ilana's Advice and Media, which is one of the championship sponsors. So it's great to have Ilana with us. No qualifying time on the board as of yet, but Ilana and Jermaine Van Horst not out on the circuit. We'll go on board again, shall we, with Kilian Boss. As he heads down towards the first sector. Not an easy part of the circuit, this. There's a big drop-off here, look, through the first corner. I've never really liked the stadium section since it was put in here at the Nürburgring, to be honest with you. It's difficult to drive, it's not very pretty to look at. But it does make for great racing, and I cannot argue against that. The Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship races here, where I go to commentate every year at their Truck Grand Prix at the Nürburgring. And it is one of my favourite events every year. It's always special at the Nürburgring, even if you are just on the Grand Prix circuit. You know, everybody goes on and on and on about the Nordschleife and how special it is, but the Grand Prix circuit is just as fantastic. Here is your championship leader, though, up through the Michael Schumacher S's. He's done a purple sector 2 at the moment, but it's a long lap around here on this Grand Prix circuit, so they're not going to get many laps in throughout this session. But Van Strijland is using all of the road that he can to really open up this lap. This car just makes such a great noise, doesn't it? It's very raspy, pop and bang from the exhausts as it backfires everywhere, and then you get the turbo flutters and whistles as well. It's a big run all the way up to the chicane for Laurent van Strijland. He's done a purple sector 4, but Leroy Bolkestein had a purple sector 1 and 3 a moment ago. They're going to have to be careful of track limits through the chicane as well. Bolkestein's done a purple sector 4 here in qualifying. I'm hoping for an interview at the end, Harrow, but we'll have to wait and see if the guys jump in or not. It's not really, we don't sort of force it upon them, but we have asked that they can jump in if possible and basically jump into the waiting room. Across the line then goes Van Strijland, 2:20.554. Kian Viss is next up, but Leroy Bolkestein goes to the top of the times. A 2:20.444 for Bolkestein. Puts him 10th of a second ahead of Van Strijland, but they're 1.2 seconds clear of Jeroen Philipsen in third place. Look, that's what I mean about them being in separate sessions. They can't see each other. Stefan van der Velde goes third, but look at that, Stefan Westra. Well, he was causing a little bit of controversy at Monza, being a lap down and battling with the leaders and helping his teammate to the front of the field, but there's nothing controversial about that. 0.4 of a second faster than everybody else. Stefan Westra, what a great lap that is. Kian Visses finds himself in 7th place at the moment, with his teammates right up there at the top. We've got Jermaine Van Horst still trying to put a lap in as well. Kilian Boss trying to get another one on the board. Ilana Quispel has not actually gone out on the track at the moment, so maybe as a newcomer or a guest you don't qualify. But Ilana was up there near the top of the park at the sort of end of that practice session. Harrow Gooden saying Westra must be hacking. He certainly is rapid, but the thing is with this car, there's such an art form to driving it. It's very, very tough because, you know, I commentated on the Real World Clio Cup Europe for 2 years, and you know, some of the best drivers that have ever raced in like Porsche Cup Italia, for example, or in Italian TCR, they came to give the Clios a go, and they were nowhere near some of the guys that had been racing Clios for 10, 15 years of all different shapes and sizes. It's so, so difficult. And Movin NL as well. Marvin saying that he's sad that Harrow isn't driving, and I'm the same as well. I miss having Harrow out there on circuit. And oh, look at that. Suddenly, iRacing very subtly changes to have all the lights on. It might end up going dark here at the Nürburgring, you know, before this session or this evening is done. We're on board now with one of the boss man, Ron Bosman. You've got a lot of fans, Harrow. It's a shame not to have you out there, my friend. So 2.5 minutes left to go. The session will tick over pretty much as soon as that timer runs out, so they need to crack on and get a lap on the board. Jeroen Philipsen has improved on his time. He remains 4th fastest. We'll stay with the boss. Not Killian Boss, Ron Bossman. Through the hairpin he goes and back up the hill. You can see from this the Clio isn't the most powerful thing in the world, but they're around 200 horsepower. Turbocharged little machine. Wonderful racing cars. And we've got Ilana in the chat as well. Great to see you, Ilana. Good to have you out there on the grid for us this evening. It's always good to have the sponsors of a championship get involved as well. It's always good fun. And listen to this Clio just rasp away. We'll go to the left rear camera and just listen to that. Anyone that likes touring cars or any sort of tin top racing machines will love that noise. It's the little backfires on the change downs that I adore as well. They're such fun little race cars, these Clios. They've got so much character. Everybody always goes on and on about, you know, how fast hypercars and Formula 1 cars are and GT cars, but I always find that the better racing you get is in lower powered cars like this that are a lot more similar to road cars underneath. And Whip in the chat as well, returning after yesterday's broadcast. Across the line goes Ron Bosman. He's surely improved, and he has 2:23.442. Just not able to move himself ahead of Killian Boss. And with only a minute left of qualifying, it's time to see who is going to be close to finishing a lap. I'm not even sure if Jeroen Philipsen's going to have enough time here, because there's still quite a while of this lap left to go. He should be okay, actually. Maybe I misunderestimated a little bit there, thinking in 40 seconds he wasn't going to get to the end of the lap. But like I say, it's a very long lap here. Jermaine Van Horst has crossed the line and put a 2:24.7 on the board. That puts him 11th fastest at the minute. So car 11 is P11. Round the final corner. You've got to be so smooth about being on the throttle as well. You can't get on it too early or the car just understeers being front wheel drive. And across the line goes, well, Bart Verkerk as well, actually. Across the line at the same time and improves just as the session ends. Bart Verkerk goes 7th fastest. So qualifying comes to a close and the drivers have just a couple of minutes now to have a quick warm-up session before they then head out for the race. And as you can see, the lights are on here at the Nürburgring. We'll have a look over the qualifying results, which seem to love being magnetised to the top of the screen. Stefan Westra, fastest then with a 2 minutes 20.030. He was 0.4 of a second ahead of Leroy Bolkestein, who was only a tenth and a bit ahead of Lauren van Struylen. But let's not forget that Lauren van Struylen could easily just finish in 3rd place there and still win the championship if he's right behind Leroy. He basically needs to have a DNF with Leroy winning the race for him to win the championship effectively. Lauren van Struylen 3rd, then with Jeroen Philipsen in 4th. He's going to start on the 2nd row of the grid with him. Then we're going to have Stefan van der Velde in 5th position for G-Force Racing. He's got Martin Smit alongside him. Martin Smit and Bart Verkerk both going well there in 6th and 7th. Killian Boss will line up 8th with Ron Bosman in 9th place. Kian Vissers inside the top 10. I know that his many
fans in the chat will be happy with that. Jermaine Van Horst was 11th, and Ilana Quispel, as mentioned, not putting a time on the board as she's a guest for this evening. But still, it's going to be good fun this final round of the season. And like I've said a number of times, actually, with this championship already, you don't have to have a huge field of cars to make it fun. You literally just have to have 2 cars to have a really, really good race. And to be fair, Harrow, it does say privateer because I didn't have the official sort of team names for each driver before this. It was something I was meaning to update, but it was one of the bits of information behind the scenes that got lost, unfortunately. But yeah, it's we can't take the team names out at this stage, I'm afraid, so I do apologise. But I do know that they are the Cloud Racing team, but I wasn't sure whether they were officially going to have their teams alongside them on the standings, so it's something we can work on. Like I say, this is only the 3rd broadcast that we've done at the moment for this, so there are a bit more bits of information that I want to add on as we continue on, and hopefully this won't be the last time you'll have this championship broadcast on here. We do have a broadcast in hand because the race at the Red Bull Ring wasn't broadcasted. That's going to be carried over to the next season, basically. So I owe Guido Decker that one at least, which should be good fun. But the guys now, like I say, all have this little warm-up session just to get cracking. And they use it to get used to the conditions once again, basically. Because the conditions can change quite a lot from one session to the next, even if it's only just a moment or two. Just updating that info in the background actually now. I can do that while the broadcast is live, but it may not show completely all the way through, so please do bear with me on that. But I can at least get the GeForce Racing and the Cloud Racing guys in there because I already have them listed, so we can figure that out. The overlay will disappear and reappear again, and you'll see now under Lauren Van Stryland, there you go, it says Cloud Racing. But yeah, it'd be great to have another championship here with the Clios. I did actually plan on hosting one myself for a while, but I've never had an amazing experience with either TCR cars or Clios when it comes to the behind-the-scenes stuff, because people go a bit crazy when they drive touring cars from what I've found. But these guys have all been very well behaved, and it's been lovely to watch. Here's Jermaine Van Horst, car number 11. He's going to be starting from 4th on the grid, as long as he stays on the circuit. Going left a little bit there, but Westra, he is going to be starting from pole position, and he's going to be really excited about the prospects here because, let's not forget, the only reason that he didn't really get a win or anything like that at Monza was the fact that he had the incident at the very start of the race. Here is Ilana Quispel. In car 00, just going around the end of the lap here. It's got the number 48 of Kian Vissers just in front. White Van Gaming in the chat, why have bumpers on if you're not going to bump people? You're absolutely right, my friend. Absolutely right. So then, the sun is setting here at the Nürburgring, and it's getting darker and darker ahead of this final race of the championship here in the UGX Clio Cup. Thanks again to championship sponsors UGX and Ilana's Advice and Media. It's great to have the support, and it's great to have you here on Chaz Draycott Media. Like I say, this is the last broadcast of the season, but we do have another one lined up for next season at least. I owe one to Guido. There's your grid then. Westra and Bolkestein on the front row, Van Stryland and Philipsen on row 2. Then it's Stefan van der Velde and Martin Smit, Bart Verkerk and Kilian Boss next up. Then it's Ron Bosman and Kian Vissers with Jermaine Van Horst and Ilana Quispel on the back row of the grid. And we're already ready to go here by the look of it. The lights are coming on, and this half-hour race to complete the season at the Nürburgring is indeed, as my spotter tells you, green, green, green. It's not been a great start for Bart Verkerk. He's dropped down a little bit here and lost a couple of places. Kian Vissers gets a lovely run and goes in front of Boss on the left-hand side. Or does he actually get there before him? Doesn't look like it. Seems like at the front as well, Westra has held on to first place, and he's managed to tuck it in nicely on the exit of the first corner. Ron Bosman's off the road. Oh, Ron Bosman's been caught out by the dipper, I think. He's dropped down a little bit. Cian Viss is side by side with his teammate and has gone down the inside of Kilian Boss. They've got Bart Verkerk behind them. Looks amazing with the lights on. And Laurens van Strijland has got up into second place. He's got ahead of all three of the G-Force racing cars now. He's got all of them filling his mirrors. However, one of them is trying to get by on his right-hand side. That's Leroy Bolkestein, his championship competitor. The two of them going nose to tail halfway around the lap. Bolkestein has been overtaken very importantly by the man that's trying to win the championship tonight and take that away from him. But look at these conditions now with the lighting. It is gorgeous out there with the headlights here at dusk. And by the time that this race is done, it's going to be pretty much complete darkness. That's Jeroen Philipsen just behind his teammate Stefan van der Velde. They've got Martin Smit behind them. Bart Verkerk is side by side with Jermaine Van Horst, who's trying to make his way through. Oh, Verkerk's gone off actually. Went a little bit too deep into the hairpin. Let's have a look at what happened to Ron Bosman. He moves over the front of Boss, funnily enough. Down the inside of Martin Smit. And, oh, it seems like the car doesn't want to come to a stop. And, oh, it just loops it on that dip. There's a humongous dip on the inside there, and it's not nice to catch a wheel on there. And unfortunately, he's done just that. This is looking back from Kilian Boss with Jermaine Van Horst and Cian Viss side by side. Kilian Boss decides that he wants to try out the Nordschleifer instead of the Grand Prix circuit. And down the inside there, Cian Viss is under attack from Ilana Quispel. Kilian Boss now under attack from Jermaine Van Horst. Van Horst gets a great run on him. You can see the LED refresh rate on the lights as they go down towards the chicane. Remaining side by side. Oh, Van Horst moves over to the left-hand side there, almost to send a message to Kilian Boss to say, I don't want you to be there, please. Oh, they both hop over the curb and Kilian Boss is in the wall. It's very easy to over-rotate these cars when you bounce off a curb, but Kilian Boss absolutely smashes into the curb that time. Look, Van Horst, watch, moves over to the left there. And they both go into the chicane very hard. Both hit the curb very hard, but Kilian Boss, car just over-rotates on him. Luckily, it's a nice soft tyre barrier to crash into, but it's not pleasant at all. Stefan Westra leads the way then. A great first lap for him. He's leading his teammate Laurens van Strijland, who's just behind, and he's got the three of the G-Force racing cars behind him. Ilana Quispel's just got down the inside of Cian Viss as well. We've seen this so far this season, that all the fantastic battles happen a little bit further down the order. We've had some great races for the lead, but it's in the real thick of the pack that it's been so exciting. A little bit deep there by Jermaine Van Horst, but there's so many lines around this section of the track. You can sort of pick and choose your own. That was a mega run actually by Ilana. She's now on to the back of Jermaine Van Horst. Jermaine putting the car in the middle of the road a little bit to sort of semi-defend the corner. And oh, one of the G-Force cars up front has gone off. I think Philipsen has had a bit of a moment with Van der Velde, his teammate. We'll have a look back at that in just a second. Actually, no, Van der Velde is the one that lost the place. I do apologise. We'll stay on board with Ilana, see if there's a move down here into the hairpin. There absolutely is. Ilana sends it down the inside. Great stuff on Van Horst. You can see the brake discs glowing on the back of these Clios, and just behind that, they're side by side as well. Cian Viss and Bart Verkerk. Cian moving over to the right, trying to squeeze him to that white line. This is what happened with Jeroen Philipsen and Stefan van der Velde. I think van der Velde's just overdone it. Yeah, he's just gone in a little bit hot, and the back end breaks away. It's a nice slide and a nice catch, but Philipsen goes through very easily on his teammate. This is Cian Viss. Oh, he's got it a little bit too hot though. Loses a bit of time there. Bart Verkerk is going to catch back up with him and try and gain on him, but we need to go further forward because Stefan van der Velde is now not under attack from one of his teammates. He's under attack from Martin Smit, who's trying to get one over on him. Look at the way they hop, skip and jump over the curbs here at the Nürburgring. It's great to watch, isn't it? Martin taking a really early apex into the final corner. It is absolutely gorgeous conditions. The guys have got this nailed, haven't they, here at the Nürburgring? This looks excellent. Fastest lap of the race, though, goes to this man, Stefan Westra. Awesome drive so far. No contact at the first corner for him like there was at Monza. That's what upset his rhythm and took him down the order in that round of the championship. And Laurens van Strijland, if he just stays where he is at the moment, ahead of Leroy Bolkestein, he will be champion of the UGX Clio Cup for its first ever season. Jeroen Philipsen and then Stefan van der Velde just behind. And there they are, worming their way through the exit of the stadium section. But Martin Smith in that GTD race car looking very, very good. I really do enjoy riding on board in conditions like this. It looks excellent, doesn't it? Oh, he kisses that inside curb a little bit there, does Martin. You can see though he's trying not to let the back end of that car step out. Going down through the gears, it can be mighty difficult. And into the hairpin again. You've got to be so smooth on the brakes here. Those rear brake discs will glow like mad. And they go back up the hill once more. There was another little bit of a change for position further down. I think Bart Verkerk got back ahead of Kian Visses. This is how it happened. I think Kian's just gone a little bit hot on the exit here, maybe. Yeah, Kian's just gone in a little bit late, and Bart goes down the inside. Sneaks by in the Barbie car. The two of them are still quite close together as well, actually. There's only 0.4 of a second between the two. We'll go back to it. Bart holding on at the moment to 9th place. Both of them still inside the top 10, although I say that for now, I should say. Bart has Kian Visses putting all sorts of pressure on him. The slipstream in these Clios is also important. That's a little subject we haven't touched on so far this evening. They punch quite the hole in the air. Oh, Kian is so close to the back of the Barbie car. He dives out to the right, later on the brakes, going to try and go around the outside, but no, Kian's gone straight on. He's had to go through the chicane, and Ron Bosman wants a piece of this. He's like, all right then, boys, I'm here to put my admin hat on. Oh, Ron's just giving a little bit of a kiss there to the back of Barbie. I'm sure he'd love to. But Bart Verkerk just about getting in the way. I think Kian Visses is going to serve a slowdown penalty there for cutting the chicane earlier. They remain side by side. Kim Addison saying greetings in the chat. Good to see you. And across the line they go. Fantastic to see these Clios battling it out once again. Bart Verkerk holds the inside line to try and defend. Oh, Kian Visses goes for a cutback. Ron Bosman also goes for a cutback. Doesn't work for him. But as you can see, it's getting darker and darker. To be fair, it's great for the guys that are chasing the cloud racing cars because there's just this glowing yellow thing in front of them, so they know exactly where to place the car. As Kian has to slam on the brakes not to hit the back of Bart Verkerk, and through goes Ron Bosman. Thanks very much, sunshine, he says. Through the right. Trying to close up now on Bart Verkerk in front. These cars sound even better when we're on board with them, don't they? Into the long left-hander. Kian Visses lost quite a lot of time there, actually, and he's still losing time. I think he's had some sort of issue. Car is going slowly, unfortunately, for Kian. Something wasn't quite working out there, and now Bart Verkerk is under more pressure. It's still Westra, Van Stryland, Bolkestein, Philipsen and Van der Velde, the top 5. It's all Cloud Racing and G-Forces. Again, Bart Verkerk may be braking a little bit harder than Ron Bosman anticipated. And Ron has to not just look at a plastic back end of the bumpers, but he has to look at Barbie's plastic face on that car as well. Up through the S's. Ooh, Bart Verkerk committed a little bit early there. Now it is Ron going to go for it down the inside. He's got a bit of a run. He's slightly in the slipstream. They brake about the same time, but looks like Ron brakes a little bit lighter. Look at the sky there. It's beautiful. As we head into the next part of the lap, just guiding the car around there. And the gorgeous Ilanis Motorsport cars look fantastic. It's close between these two teammates again, Jeroen Philipsen and Stefan van der Velde. They've managed to open up a 1.8 second gap over Martin Smit, but he is not getting away from Ilana Quispel, actually. Ilana is closing in right now. And then Jermaine Van Horst is next up. 1.1 seconds back, so there could be a good quintet here. Marvin saying he can hear Kian shouting in his ears too. He's in absolute tears laughing. I'm not surprised. Ron Bosman has got through. Ron Bosman has overtaken Bart Verkerk for P9. He's all over the back of him out of the chicane, flashing his lights and all sorts, saying, get out of the way, son. Ken is coming through. It's going to be Ken Bosman. Oh, he sends it up the inside. Leans on him a little bit. Nothing too untoward. And through he goes. I think he was feeling like he had to be a bit forceful in the end. And this gap, by the way, from Martin Smit to Ilana is absolutely disappearing. Ilana was very quick in practice and right near the top of the standings, so it's no surprise that she's making her way through the field now. Listen to that. It's just such a great noise. Oh no, Bart Verkerk has lost time and lost places and he's off the road. He suddenly disappeared and then came back up again. It's very strange. We'll have a look back at what happened. He's thrown it down the inside of Ron Bosman. Let's have a look here. He's absolutely sent it in from down the inside of Ron. Manages to make it work. Through the right hander they go, and oh, he's going to go miles off the road here, I think. It's great entertainment by these two. They're really putting on a show. I told you earlier, you only need 2 cars to have a good race. And these guys are showing us how it's done. Close racing. They've not had any major contact to take them out of the race yet, touch wood. And there's 18 3/4 minutes of this race left to go. The Clios are going to be racing at night time. And it's going to be mighty exciting to see what it's like under lights. You can see the back end of Verkerk's car just trying to step out that little bit more. Bosman trying to get the cut back underneath him. Nearly a touch. Flipping heck, they are close together. Ron's flashing the lights again. Not sure he's got a case, but we'll have to see what he can do into the chicane. Up the hill. Westra crosses the line again. 2:20.4 for him. 2:20.4 for Van Stryland. Both of them really setting the pace at the moment. Look at that, 1.2 seconds quicker than Bolkestein on that lap. You can hear the kiss of the curb left, kiss of the curb right. Good run out of the final chicane for Ron Bosman. Can he put his nose down the inside? No, he's backing out of that one. He's hoping that Verkerk's going to make a mistake. He's just guiding the car around. You can see the TUV Rhineland Tower now glowing at night, which looks excellent. Ilana Quisbel, has got past Martin Smith, but Martin's sideways. There was contact between the two. Let's have a look back at what happened. Ilana looking down the inside for a long old time. Not necessarily later on the brakes, but puts the car's nose in. Oh, it was a little bit late in the end. But I'm not one to believe in people being entitled to corners over others. I think there wasn't an overlap for long enough to suddenly arrive there at the apex. There's contact between Bosman and Verkerk. Bosman slams on the brakes to try and avoid it in the back of him, but obviously when you slam on and light up them tyres, and the car isn't going to turn at all. Closest 2 cars on track are actually now Jeroen Philipsen and his teammate Stefan van der Velde. Stefan needs to just hold on to 3rd in the championship. And oh, dearie me, he needs to hold on to the racing surface as well. The car understeers wide. Harrow Gooden saying next season Westra should get a weight penalty. It's actually a shame in a way that on iRacing you can't actually apply weight to just an individual driver, but only an individual type of car. Otherwise, championships with success ballast would be amazing fun. It would be a great way to sort of add your own balance of performance in, much like the British Touring Car Championship used to do. They had such a great format for it where I think in the top 10 in the championship it'd be anywhere from I think 6 kilos up to 75 kilos for the driver that entered a race meeting first in the championship. They'd have to carry that weight through qualifying as well, and then the weight then got transferred from the winner of race 1 down to 10th, and then for the reverse grid race it would still be the top 10, but even though they were reversed they got the weight based on the position that they finished the race before, if that makes sense. Killian Boss has just had an off down at the hairpin, unfortunately. I think he's just going to go a little bit too hot on the exit here. It looks very quick. Yep. He opened it up and he's slammed on and he's got the car going again. Kian Vissers actually overtook Bart Verkerk a moment ago as well. Not quite sure what's happened to Bart here. Oh. The car's going slowly there. Oh, he must have had a slowdown penalty or something. So Bart backs out of that one and Kian Vissers goes through into 10th position, and Bart Verkerk is actually into the pits now. There's that famous siren here at the Nürburgring. But unfortunately, Bart into the pit lane. I'm not sure if he's hit an incident point limit or something. It doesn't say that he's had many. But Stefan Westra on a mission at the moment. 2 minutes 20.4 on his last lap. Lauren Van Stryland 2:20.5. They were a second quicker than Leroy Bolkestein at the moment. He sits in 3rd, but he's 5 seconds off the cars ahead. Jeroen Philipsen is then 6.7 seconds back, so Leroy very much in a bit of no man's land, as you can see. Not even the headlights touch the back of Lawrence Van Strylen's car. Bart Endoven saying Killian loves it outside of the track. Hey, you've got to try and find the limit somewhere, haven't you? You've got to try and find the limit somewhere. Thank you to those of you that have been watching so far, by the way. I've had some fantastic feedback on the broadcasts. I do this single-handedly, all by myself, and I love doing it. I really do love it. And I'm glad that a lot of you have been not just enjoying it, but showing your appreciation as well and giving me the feedback on it. It's been great fun to broadcast this championship so far, and I hope that we can continue to do so based on my availability in upcoming rounds and seasons. Just watching these two now get closer and closer together. Stefan van der Velde on the back of Jeroen Philipsen through the chicane, showing off that beautiful livery. It's great conditions like this. iRacing has really done well with their lighting over the last few years or so. The old sort of lighting model where we didn't have day-night cycles would look horrendous at night. The cars would all basically glow against the circuit as if it was still daylight. Dylan Gonzalez says, I thought this was a real-life race. Well, I'm glad to know that it still looks good enough, my friend. Hope you're enjoying the show. I do broadcast other iRacing series as well, everybody. I host a lot of championships here on iRacing. We're currently running the SimRacing Magazine GT4 Challenge, the Chaz Draycott Media Dirt Legend Speedway Super League, and in the past I've also done the British Boring Car Championship and the Formula One World Championship, where we use old Formula One liveries on little Pro Mazda machines. So do consider subscribing to my channel. I do a lot of flight simulator stuff as well, a lot of funny gaming videos and all sorts. It's a very versatile channel, but this is my main profession, is commentary and broadcasting. Look at the way these cars dance around through there. Just that dab of the brakes going down through the gears. The back end just really wants to overtake the front. It's so twitchy. Everybody thinks just because it's a front wheel drive car it should be easy to drive. It is definitely not. And ooh, a little bit deep there for Jeroen Philipsen into the hairpin. It's great to have this sort of inter-team battle though. And Van der Velde, look, he's moving around behind his teammate as if to say, I will go for a move, son. I will try it. Up the Schumacher S as they go through the slipstream, coming the way of Van der Velde. And looking down the inside as well, try and go for a move. Actually, side by side the two teammates go. Philipsen gave him all the room in the world, but Van der Velde couldn't quite fill it, I should say. No, Marvin, it's not that there's no Europeans allowed at all, my friend. We've had a number of European and American drivers in the British Boring Car Championship. I just don't know when the next one will be. I've been booked to broadcast another championship in the next sort of 12 weeks, basically, on Thursdays, where I would normally run boring cars, so unfortunately that time has been taken up where I would have run the series. Just look behind these guys, by the way, because Ilana Quispel has just appeared out of nowhere to chase these two down. With 11 minutes left, there's still plenty of this race to go. And Ilana is sniffing away at a top 5 finish now. It's been a great drive. Don't forget, Ilana started right at the back of the field. And Harrow Gooden, how dare you say that about the Jetta? It's an amazing car. Rasping away then, 10 minutes 50 seconds left to go. These three right together in the darkness. We wait to see if Ilana can make a move on these guys. She's been quicker than them by quite a distance, actually. Jeroen Philipsen did a 2:23.9 on that previous lap. 2:24.0 for Stefan van der Velde. Ilana Quispel did a 2:21.9. She was 2 seconds quicker than Jeroen Philipsen on that last lap. Apparently Kian Visses is doing a competition. That would be good fun, yeah. I'd be definitely up for joining if I'm available. I've started driving a bit more on iRacing now as well. So I actually get behind the wheel and know these cars a little bit better when I broadcast them. And I tell you what, Ilana knows this car, doesn't she? She's doing a fantastic job trying to go around the outside of Stefan van der Velde. Thinks a little bit better of it there. Tries to set herself up for a run down the hill now. Sweeping down towards the Dunlop Kera at the bottom of the hill. We'll go on board and see just how this looks from Ilana's point of view. No major distractions inside the cockpit of this car. There's no fancy sort of ultraviolet lights like you used to get in the GT3 cars, especially in the Ferrari 458 GT3. And look at this now. Ilana's got a magical run up the hill. Is Van der Velde going to give the room? Well, there's a tiny overlap, but no, Ilana thinks better of it. Smacks up that curb. She's got a lot of time left to make this work, but Jermaine Van Horst is 1.1 seconds back as well. Look, just there. So this could very easily become a 4-car fight. Beautiful shot there as they go over the crest of the hill, looking towards the sunset. Ilana goes a little bit early onto the apex there. But Jeroen Philipsen still at the front of this, hoping that the rest of them will, quite bluntly, go away. Philipsen holding 4th position at the moment. In terms of the championship, Jeroen Philipsen hasn't been with us for a couple of rounds now, so he's down in 13th in the standings. If he was really playing the team game here, he'd let Van der Velde through and in front, but never mind, because Ilana Quispel's just gone through on Van der Velde because he made a mistake at the chicane. Ilana goes 5th. Can Van der Velde get back at her for that? He's got to run around the outside out of the final corner. They run side by side down the start-finish straight. That's how close they are. You can see Jermaine Van Horst wanting a piece of this as well. There's headlights to the left. And actually, Van der Velde is going to get a little bit of slipstream here from his teammate just in front. They magnetise towards each other on the brakes. Ilana has to slam on, goes to the right a little bit. Careful not to lock up the fronts. And still around the outside, Stefan Van der Velde manages to hold on to the position. Great bit of driving. Look at the rear brake discs on these little Clios. Still glowing away. Ilana tries it down the inside. Van der Velde wants to make it to the apex. There's contact. The two of them are sideways, and Ilana is sideways. Van der Velde recovers. Van Horst goes through. Thanks very much indeed. And I think Ilana just went a little bit too hot into there. I think Stefan was always going to turn in and hold on to the corner. Let's have a look at this from Jermaine Van Horst's point of view. You can see Ilana tries to get a cutback, moves to the inside line, stays down the inside, but Van der Velde wants to make it, and yeah, Ilana was just going straight on there, unfortunately. Great little save that, actually, by Van der Velde, but Van Horst says, thanks very much, I'll take that freebie. There's still not much of a gap between himself and Stefan Van der Velde, but Van Horst has been doing much quicker laps. So I imagine that we will see Van Horst go chasing down Jeroen Philipsen. Stefan Westra still leads this race with 7 minutes left to go, but he's now less than a second ahead of Laurens van Struyland. I imagine that after Stefan really helped him at Monza, that Laurens will allow his teammate to take the victory at least, rather than taking it away from him. Bart Verkerk had a drama earlier on by the look of it, I'm afraid. Kilian Boss got past him. Oh yeah, Bart Verkerk actually went into the pits earlier, didn't he? It seems like he's still having a bit of trouble here. He's gone straight on at the chicane. And well, Barbie and Ken may be going on a bit of an early holiday here. But here is your current championship leader, champion-elect, and Laurens van Struyland making it work here in the dark at the Nürburgring. Once again, making it look very easy. These guys at the front, they're doing an amazing job. So smooth, so precise everywhere with this Clio. And Marvin thinks that Stefan will give the victory to Laurens van Struyland. I'd be intrigued by that. I would have thought that, you know, Laurens has won a number of races so far this season. Stefan has not. So it'd be nice for him to allow his teammate to get a win, because at the end of the day, Van Struyland's current position will give him the championship anyway. I don't agree with Bart that it's match fixing. Match fixing is when you throw it by accident. If you're doing your best and you're out in front, then they get the opportunity to change it around. Even if it finished like this, Van Struyland would beat Leroy Bolkestein to the championship anyway. It wouldn't affect Bolkestein's position. It wouldn't cost anybody else any points other than Westra, who isn't in the championship fight, really. Look at the brake discs. It's brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. A lot of rearward brake bias on these Clios to help them rotate on the brakes instead of understeering wide. It's good fun so far. And there's not long left to go with this race now. Just 5 minutes here at the Nürburgring. And it's Stefan Westra with the neon yellow rear end of the Cloud Racing car. Laurens van Struyland, then Leroy Bolkestein, who we were just looking at. He's 9 seconds ahead of his teammate Jeroen Philipsen.
who is then 1.2 seconds clear of Jermaine Van Horst, and Stefan van der Velde is hoping to close him down in these final stages. It's so easy to go early there against that apex on the right hand side, and it seems like Ilana Quispel has had another issue potentially. Oh no, sorry, I do apologise. Ilana's incident before has just sort of come up on my timing software again for some reason. And for the lead, it's all of a sudden very close. Stefan Westra has got Laurens van Strijland all over him, and look at this now, he's really defending here. The two of them are actually going to battle it out then in the final couple of laps. We should have maybe 3 laps here. Stefan Westra is going to have to work hard now by the look of it. No team orders. The two of them are going at it. It's a 2:20.6 from Laurens van Strijland. How on earth has he done that? It was a 21.8 from Westra actually, so Westra making a mistake and losing 1.2 seconds. Westra actually holds the fastest lap of the race at the moment at 2 minutes 20.06. And these two are glued to each other now for this race lead. But it's definitely in the hands of Laurens van Strijland. He's got the championship pretty much wrapped up. He just needs to be careful now. I love how you can still see the heater controls on the dashboard of the Clio still glowing away with the blue and red. He's clearly got it all the way turned up to hot. Harrow Gooden saying we've got the Dutch anthem incoming. I would have thought more Jaws music playing right now instead of the Dutch national anthem. Obviously, if you're a motorsport fan, you're used to hearing the Dutch national anthem these days if you watch Formula 1. And by the look of how Formula 1 testing has gone today, you're going to be hearing it a lot more as well. These two really going at it now. This is excellent fun. It's interesting to see Clio's racing at night. I've only ever seen it once before at Circuit Paul Ricard in the real world Clio Cup Europe. We're going to have just one more lap after this then, and that's going to complete this season here in the UGX Clio Cup. We go back to Jeroen Philipsen and the gang, because these guys are still quite close together. Philipsen only 6/10 ahead of Van Horst, who is then only 9/10 ahead of Van der Velde. There's potential there for that to change, and this is changing as well. Laurens van Strijland's gone for the lead, sends it down the inside of his teammate Westra. That was not part of the plan, and Westra now drops back into second place. So Laurens van Strijland holding absolutely nothing back here against his teammate. Let's see if he can do anything on this final lap now. Can Stefan Westra? He was easily the fastest in practice and then in qualifying. But has he been able to hold this pace through the race? It doesn't look like it. There's actually lapped traffic in front of them now, which is Bart Verkerk, I believe. Just checking the lap times of everyone around them, see whether they're going to catch up. Pretty sure they are going to catch up with Bart Verkerk. And oh no, Ilana Quispels comes back into the pits. She parked the car, unfortunately. Not quite sure what's happened to it. Jeroen Philipsen's got pressure from Van Horst behind him now. Jermaine has gained 6 places in this race. He's the biggest mover in the field. And he's into the top 5. He's not quite going to reach a podium because there's still 9.6 seconds ahead to Leroy Bolkestein. But he's working hard. And he's pushing to try and get ahead of the G-Force car. Harrow Gooden saying Westra's hack menu crashed. Alt F4. Alt F4, sunshine. Look at this by Van Horst. Really determined stuff down the inside. That was not on by Philipsen. He just turns across him on the way into the braking zone. Deary me. Big send by Jermaine. It was all well and good, but Van Horst absolutely sent it. But Jeroen doesn't need to come across like this. Not sure what he was thinking. He's down the inside. Van Horst turns in well early. Not Van Horst, sorry. Philipsen turns in way early. That was Prost-like in 1988. And fair play to you, Ilana. Fair play. Says nothing to lose, nothing to win, so let everybody gain their point.
hats off to you, Alana, but great performance all the same. And what a great performance by this man. The champion of the UGX Clio Cup's inaugural season is Laurens van Stralen with another race victory here at the Nürburgring. Almost a clean sweep this season. What a championship for Laurens van Stralen. Stefan Westra with a brilliant second place. He'll be much happier with that than he was at Monza. But wow, a big battle with his teammate at the end to take that away from him. And third place in the race, second place in the championship, Leroy Bolkestein. And it's kicking off back here as well. Van der Velde gets ahead of his teammate, Jeroen Philipsen. Or does he? No, he's backed out and he's led him in front. Philipsen ahead of Van der Velde. Van Horst finishes in fourth after taking 7 places. What a brilliant drive that was. And Martin Smit round the final corner to complete the race in 7th. He had that contact earlier on, unfortunately. Ron Bosman is going to finish in 8th place behind these guys. He's just coming into the final corners now. We go on board with Bosman. And thank you very much, Alana. I really do appreciate that. It means a lot. I love doing this, and it's great fun to do it with such a fantastic group of people. So thank you as well. Ron Bosman crosses the line. And next up, we're going to have Kian Vissers just coming around the final corner. Everybody clap emojis in chat for Kian. I know he's got a lot of fans in the chat. Flashes the lights. You can't really see him. It's just headlights. But show your appreciation for Kian Vissers. And here comes Killian Boss. He may have had a little bit of an off earlier on, but he's managed to get it completed and get back up there. Top 10 for Killian Boss. He crosses the line. And I think we still need to wait for Bart Verkerk because I think he finished ahead of our race winners. So yeah, we still wait for Bart Verkerk, so he's going to get his airtime. And I am told that we will speak to your champion, Laurens van Stralen, in a few minutes' time. So we'll go through the results once Bart crosses the line, and then we'll have a quick chat with your champion. Stefan Westra says, couldn't see anything anymore. Screen's calibrated too dark. Fair play, Stefan, fair play. But it was a great battle all the same. Here comes Bart Verkerk. He's going to cross the line in 11th position. Someone needs to tell him not to go in the pits. He needs to finish the race. Bart Verkerk then round the final corner. The final finisher of the season, everybody. Bart Verkerk completes the championship. And there he is. Takes the checkered flag. But here is your champion. Laurens van Stralen takes the race win and takes the title in the 2024 UGX Clio Cup. So then, let's have a look at the race results, shall we? Before we then go on to speak to our champion. And Laurens van Stralen takes the win. 2.9 seconds, give or take, ahead of Stefan Westra. Leroy Bolkestein completes a very solid season. Second place in the championship, third place in that race. Jermaine Van Horst finishes fourth. Great drive from him tonight. 7 places gained. Then it's Jeroen Philipsen in fifth and Stefan van der Velde in sixth. Martin Smit finished in 7th after the earlier incident. Ron Bosman recovered from that first lap spin to finish 8th, with Kian Vissers in 9th and Killian Boss finishing at the top 10 with Cloud Racing. Bart Verkerk finished 11th, as we saw there, and Ilana Quispel, the championship sponsor, after such a great drive, decides to park it and give everybody else the championship points. Fantastic sportsmanship. Okay, so what we're going to do, everybody, is we're going to go back in time to the beginning of the race, because we're going to have an interview or two here, and what I'm going to do is actually play this slightly backwards here, because we have 2 gentlemen in the box ready to chat to me. But first off, we're going to jump over to Leroy Bolkestein, who is going to have a chat with me. Leroy, first off, congratulations on second in the championship. You must be pretty pleased with how the season's gone. I'm not actually sure if these guys can speak in this room in Discord. I've just realised that. I'm not sure if they're able to. Let's just see if we can try something else. I'll just check it and see if I can move the guys. Yes, there we go. Leroy, are you there, Sunshine?
Yeah, I'm here, mate. Thanks.
Good stuff. How was that season for you, Leroy? Because it didn't look easy. I mean, it's not the biggest field in the world, but it's still a great group of people, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a tough season. We had some clean and nice fights with Laurens, but he did a really solid season. So I cannot put him up to a mistake. I have slightly some couple of mistakes this season, and but all in all, happy with the second place.
Absolutely. Well, it's just all about having fun, isn't it, with sim racing as
Yeah.
well? And these little cars are great fun to drive and battle with, aren't they?
Yeah. The cars are really nice to drive because we all have the same setup, and it must become out of the driver. But there are slow cars, but still difficult to get them on the edge. The right amount of slip angle through the corners to gain some couple of tenths. That's really hard, but enjoyable. Yeah.
Definitely. And what was the sort of highlight of the season for you? What was your favourite part?
I think it was the Barcelona race, fighting till the end with Lawrence. That was one of my best races, so that was for me the highlight of this season. I really enjoyed that race with the clean battles I had with Lawrence through the race in Barcelona.
It was fantastic to watch as well, especially as it was my first broadcast with you guys as well. It was a great way to start out. It was a brilliant season for you, Leroy. It was great fun to watch. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we go?
I want to do a shout out to UGX for making this all happen, and also for you, Chess, for the really good the really good speaking with the driving, and I think it's up to point. Also the info that you're dealing with the people that viewing. I said good job and thanks.
Thank you very much.
I will be fighting and training hard for next season to get the trophy of Lawrence and so
Yes.
see you next season. Thanks.
Love it, Leroy. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you very,
You're
very
welcome.
much. So we will we'll move on to our champion. Lauren van Strijland joins us in the box. Lawrence, first off, congratulations from me. I'm sure congratulations from everybody else around. You must be over the moon to have completed it here at the Nürburgring. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, definitely a good result, great result again today, and we managed to get the championship. So that was our main goal.
Absolutely, and it didn't come easy to you. There were points where you made it look very easy, but there's still a lot of battling to be done, isn't there? I mean, even on screen right now, we've got you completely sideways with Leroy at the start of that race. There was a lot of great fun moments out there, wasn't there?
Yeah, I fully agree. I think over the season I had a lot of great fights with Leroy. Definitely, like you said, I had some great competition with him because he's like a lion in defending, and I enjoyed it all. Like Barcelona was also the biggest highlight for me for this season because we had a real race all race long. So that's that was really great.
I was going to say, it makes such a difference when you have a clean fight with somebody. I mean, even in some of the leagues that I used to race in, even if I finished in 25th position, as long as I had a good clean fight on the way there, I'd still enjoy it. It's the same regardless of where you are in a field, isn't it?
Yeah, I fully agree. I think leaving each other room, that's something which is quite important during a good fight, and there was a lot of respect between us, and I think that was also visible to everyone.
Yeah, definitely. Well, do you think a lot of that is down to the cars as well? Because, as I often say, the slower cars that aren't a million horsepower and big wings and splitters everywhere, they're often more fun to battle because you've got a little bit more time to react to things, haven't you?
Yeah. At some point, but also I think the cars are a bit more understeery, and like of course you have the lock-ups as well, which are quite dangerous if you are on the inside of the corner. So those are things to keep in mind as well, which makes the Clio actually quite fun.
Yes.
Because it could make or break your race if you actually lock up the car.
Very true.
So so we saw that as well on the Red Bull Ring. Of course, that was my first race where I had a competition from Julian and from Stefan, which were actually faster that day. Also on Monza we saw that, and now in qualifying we saw Stefan as well being strong today. So but like on Red Bull Ring, he locked up in corner 4, I think it was, and that gave me the advantage to finish the race ahead of him, actually. So
Yeah, it's about playing your cards right at the right time, isn't it, in cars like this? You know?
Keeping it cool, right, during the race. And, think about the end result and actually keeping the tires happy as well, because these cars are very easy to heat up the tires.
Yeah.
So so from Zandvoort we started practicing, like making long runs, seeing what the car was doing, what's the drop off in pace actually. So a lot of fun in this car this season.
Absolutely, and it's been fun to watch as well, Lawrence. And of course, I want to once again say thank you and congratulations for your results and your championship title. Can we expect to see you in a season 2 defending the title?
Yeah, of course. If there's a second season, I will be there just to defend my title and see which car and what we can do with that one.
Beautiful. Well, is there anyone you'd like to give a quick thanks to before we go?
Yeah, of course. Also, UGX for hosting this amazing championship. Hope to see more people in the races actually next season, and also you for the amazing broadcast. I really enjoyed the replay of it.
Thank you.
And of course, my competitors like Leroy and Stefan and Julian for actually making the races interesting, because I think that's the most important part about the championship. Driving in front is fun, of course, but nothing is better than a great fight.
Absolutely. Nicely said, Lawrence. Well, very well done, mate. I'll let you go and enjoy the rest of your evening, and I hope that you enjoy it, and we'll hopefully speak to you again at some point soon. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Have a nice evening.
Your champion, everybody, Lawrence van Strijland, takes the championship here in the UGX Clio Cup, and that is, unfortunately, all we have time for here from the Nürburgring. But again, a massive thank you to UGX and Ilanis Advice and Media for their sponsorship of the championship, and as the guys said, for UGX as well for hosting, and of course bringing me on board. It's been a lot of fun here on Chaz Draycott Media to broadcast this amazing championship. I'm really glad you've all enjoyed the broadcast, and I hope to see you all again very, very soon. But like I say, that is unfortunately all we have time for here in the UGX Clio Cup. But you never know, there may be another season, we may be under the same banner in different cars. We'll have to wait and see. But thank you once again for watching, everybody. Really hope you've enjoyed the show, and I'll hopefully see you again very, very soon. Have a good night. 4 French drivers at the French Grand Prix trying to win this on the final lap. They're 3 wide again. Guillaume down the inside. Guillaume moves across. They're both in front of Milan and Pouget.
But before you know it, we find ourselves here in the very final race of the competition.
And then they see truck racing and they think, this is crazy. You know, these are 5-ton machines, 1,200 horsepower brake. Oh, look at that switchback. Oh, he's been mugged and the switch is going off.
Gregory now, I love this. 18.5 minutes gone. Senna Lanson tries to go for the race lead.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.